And we are so messed up with that that it is pathetic. And you can make out of it what you want. I can and I will be doing some things in the future, probably podcast-wise and not nightly prayer service-wise, to talk some politics and talk about some education on who's running for office and who I believe you should vote for. Not doing that tonight. But I'm trying to come to you to let you know where we're at in this world. You know, if you're on one side of the political aisle and you watch the newscasts that are on your side, there are things that you won't hear because they don't want you to know about the other side, and vice versa. Why can't you turn on the news and just get the news? The news would be telling what's happening, not telling one side of the story of what's happening. And that's where we are today. We're going to be talking about the chip and vaccination, the mark of the beast, and those things coming up. We're going to be hitting that hard because they're going to be hitting us hard. They're going to make that chip look like it is the best thing since sliced bread. That it is not just needed, but it is mandatory. That we're going to have it in order to do this and that and whatever. And we'll talk about why the answer for this person and my wife is going to be no, there's no mandatory when it comes to putting a chip in my right hand. No, there's no mandatory there. But we got to be careful because there's going to be a lot of good people that are going to think, that's not what the mark of the beast is. You're blowing it out of proportion. Okay, well, if I'm right and I don't take it, and it is the mark of the beast, then I still have a path to heaven. If I'm wrong, then if it's not the mark of the beast, then I still have a path to heaven. But if you're wrong, and you say that it's not the mark of the beast, and you take it, and then you're wrong and it is the mark of the beast, guess what? You just closed your door. All of you good people, all of you Christians that think that that's not what they would be doing to us. They would never do that to us, you would think. Why did Jesus know when he gave the inspiration to John to write the book of Revelation? There's a reason that was written. It was a warning. And that warning wasn't written so that you could say later, well, that's not what it meant. It's a warning for a reason. It's a warning. You know, warning labels. You know, the little, whatever that logo thing is that they use on a warning label. And if you read what the warning label says, you've been warned. Warning label, you've been warned. You have a choice. You can follow the warning label or you can not follow the warning label. Well, the Bible, in this case, is the warning label. It's telling you what is going to happen ahead of time so that when it comes time for you to make a decision that you are informed. You don't have to make an uninformed decision. Now, let me go on this a little bit more. For those that are going to think that this has got to be done, the world is, on the edge of falling off because we don't have a vaccine for this. Let me remind you, vaccines take years and years and years to perfect. So why, if we need a vaccine, can't we just get a normal vaccine? Why are we going to need that little chip? And you say, well, you just keep going back to that and going back to that. Yes, I do. I go back to that because the technology is here. I seen a video, and it was from a few years ago, 2015, I think. And they had a chip that they inserted in your wrist area, the size of 1 grain of rice. So easy to implant that you barely even feel it. It's so small that you don't even realize it's there. But they were showing how this chip was set up in a company, and you could go up to the vending machine, order your Kit Kat candy bar, not have to take your wallet out, not have to reach in your pocket for change, none of that. You just run your wrist right beside it. It read your wrist and it charged your bank account. That was a few years ago. I'm sure they've perfected it even more since then. And it will be so easy and convenient. How could you not want to take it? How could you not want to take it? Read Revelation, and that'll be why you don't want to take it. You know, if you've never studied the book of Revelation, you need to do it right now. I need to do a new Bible study online about the book of Revelation. The revelation of John the Revelator. I need to do that, and I need to get myself prayed up about that, because it's not easy to teach on the book of Revelation, and it's not easy for you to understand the book of Revelation. But it's needed now more than ever. The closer we get to the end and we see things lining up. You know, they talk about the stars lining up. You know, I'm not into astrology. But as we see things lining up, we better understand what we're going through and what we're getting ready to go through. And, you know, it's not because I want to seem intelligent or right or whatever. It's because I want you to be able to go to heaven. And when the Bible tells us that we can't take the mark of the beast, then we can't take the mark of the beast. It's just cut and dry. You can't do it. And there's going to be so many people. There's going to be families that are split apart because some people in the family is going to say, I'm not taking that vaccine. They're not giving that to me. And then there's going to be the other side of the family that says, oh, we're taking it, and you're not coming around us if you don't have it because you may be infected. And I would imagine if you sat and thought about it for just a minute or two, you could think of people in your family that are going to be on both sides of that equation. So what are you going to do for Christmas? What are you going to do for birthdays? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? What are you going to do for church? Are we going to have the vaccinated church and the non-vaccinated church? You see where I'm going, folks, and you see why I'm concerned. You know, Amy's not here.